Anyone who was around in the year 2000 and was following the presidential contest between George W. Bush and Al Gore likely remembers the dramatic legal battle over Florida's recount. Bush eventually won the state by a mere 537 votes, but only after the Supreme Court intervened. This time around, Florida's 29 electoral votes are basically up for grabs. The two candidates are polling essentially neck and neck just a week after Biden held a narrow lead. It's a must-win state for the president, and both candidates have showered attention on Florida voters.
North Carolina's polling shows Biden and Trump neck and neck. But potentially more interesting is the state Senate race, where Republican incumbent Thom Tillis is statistically even with the Democratic challenger, Cal Cunningham. Democrats obviously want to take back the Senate, and this is one of the seats with vulnerable Republican incumbents that they're hoping to flip. Another reason the Democrats have to be hopeful? The state's governor race. Democrat Roy Cooper had a wide lead over his Republican challenger, Dan Forest, in August polling. That's an indication that the state could swing blue in the presidential race, but who knows?
Rising coronavirus infections in Wisconsin could be a major factor at the polls in the state, which has 10 electoral votes up for grabs. COVID cases there increased by more than 99% last week. That's the biggest one-week change out of any state. More than half of likely Wisconsin voters say that the coronavirus is the most important issue facing their state. And 59% say that the high number of cases in the US is due to poor leadership and policy decisions from President Trump.
Wisconsin's neighbor to the east, Michigan, is also being hit hard by the coronavirus. Infections rose by the third most out of any state in the week ending October 25th. And 47% of likely voters in Michigan say the pandemic is the most important problem in their state. Michigan flipped red in 2016 and was key to Trump's victory, handing him a win by just more than 10,000 votes. This week, a judge in Michigan sided with gun rights advocates by allowing the open carrying of firearms at polling sites on Election Day. That reverses a previous order intended to prevent voter intimidation a week after 13 men were arrested in a plot to kidnap Governor Gretchen Whitmer.
In a flip from 2016, when Trump defeated Democratic challenger Hillary Clinton by a small margin, Biden now holds a narrow lead in Pennsylvania, a state where a majority of voters can swing toward either major party. Pennsylvania voters believe that while Biden will manage the pandemic better, Trump trumps Biden on the economy. Officials are bracing for a surge in mail-in ballots. They expect to receive about 3 million of them statewide. And in Philadelphia, they are scrambling to prepare for unrest in case the results are disputed.
Arizona has emerged as a top battleground in the White House race after Trump won it by 3.5 percentage points over Hillary Clinton in 2016. If Biden wins Arizona, he'll be the first Democratic presidential candidate to do so since Bill Clinton carried it in 1996. Compared to other Senate races, Arizona doesn't look especially close. Republican Martha McSally, who was appointed to fill the seat left by John McCain's death, is trying to fend off a challenge by Democrat Mark Kelly, a former astronaut who became a gun control activist after his wife, former Representative Gabby Giffords, was badly wounded in a 2011 shooting.
What's happening in Texas is that Biden is tantalizingly close to a prize that's eluded generations of Democratic presidential candidates. The last one to take the state was Jimmy Carter in 1976. So if he gets the Lone Star State's 38 electoral votes, well, that would end any chance Trump has at re-election. Early voting turnout in the state has been staggering. As of Tuesday, nearly 8 million Texans cast their ballots. That's 90% of the entire state's vote in 2016, according to the University of Florida.